James and Oliver Phelps.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I think that you guys wanted to stand, right? So we can.
Yeah, we'll stand, sir.
Like the Bob Barber.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna break the stage. How is everyone out there today? Excellent.
I gotta ask you, so is this your first time in St. Louis?
It is, yeah.
And you said barbecue, the Arch. Have you seen anything else while you've been in town?
Yeah, so I actually got into town on Thursday because I thought I actually wanted a day to actually see what's going on. So I spent Friday, I did the trolley tour around, so I learned lots of interesting things about how iced tea was invented here.
This seems invented here?
Here, yeah, and the ice cream cone was invented here.
Oh yeah.
But James, why was it invented here?
Because all of the funny shit. These guys know anyway. But yeah, it was really great. And then I went for a run around Forest Park and saw that you guys actually have cricket fields here, which made me extra happy. But yeah, it's been great. And then I've had a lot more food than I should do. But no, I've really enjoyed being in the city.
Yeah, do you guys follow them on Instagram and Twitter and everything? You know, you should. It seems like you guys have your own travel show. You just go all over the place.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
I want to ask too. You guys do a lot for charity as well. Can you, before we start with the fan questions, you gotta tell some of the charities that people should give
Yeah, so we're very lucky to be able to do some stuff with the charities back in England. Really, there's three what I'm an ambassador for, which is quite cool, and one of them, the Help Harry Help Others charity, which is like a community-based support system in the UK for brain tumours, and they had a big ball just before we left. So I was on stage talking about whatever, but it was I turned to the ball, and the guy comes up to me and gives me something and says, "Yeah, can you talk about this for a bit on stage?" Right, there's about 600 people in the room. Luckily, he was in the back of the programme, so I could just say, "Turn to the back of the programme right now." So, yeah, it's good.
All right, last question before we get to the fans. I hear one of you, there's a rumor that wants to play Skeeter from Doug. Is that true?
Yeah.
Can you do an impression of Skeeter?
I'm not.
That's amazing. You have to play this character. That's amazing. Let's get some fan questions.
Hi, I'm a huge fan of your work as Fred and George. My brother is probably not. If you want good Italian food, I suggest go to the Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, if you did take anything, what did you take from the set of Harry Potter? And what was it like growing up on Harry Potter set?
If I did, not that I did.
Careful, you don't work for Warner Brothers, do you?
I actually may have borrowed some of the actual Skiving snap boxes, which is pretty interesting, if I did. The one thing I really wanted actually was my wand, because every wand was unique, but they were very hot on taking them as soon as you left set. They made sure they held on to those.
Yeah, your wands are awesome.
What's it like growing up on the set?
Yeah, it was growing up on set. We were 14 when we started doing the Harry Potter films, so that was quite. We were 14 when we started. The Harry Potter films, and we were a very well-oiled machine at it. And yeah, we kind of, I suppose at that age, you kind of just develop how it works, and you just start taking it for granted, which is a shame looking back because you just do it so often. We started doing the film so often, but no, it was awesome. Like, it was a really good community with everyone, all the actors who we work with, and the crew as well, and they still remain good friends today. So yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, I was watching all the Harry Potter movies the other day, and I went from the first one to the seventh one in like 2 days, and the dramatic difference in you guys between the first movie and the last two movies, it made my day.
I'd say there's probably about, a 1.5 foot difference from
Yeah.
yeah.
The voice too, it just goes down. Okay, were you guys And if so, which was your favorite prank?
We enjoyed having a bit of a giggle at people's expense. But some I will let remain in the studio. But others, they were just silly little things, really. Like if someone fell asleep in front of a TV, we would, if it just happened to be a TV where we were playing a computer game, I think one was like Battlefield or Call of Duty or something. So when they fell asleep, we shoved the volume up to 100% and started firing off a few rounds on there. See someone raised vertically like that was quite fun.
Or all the, actually all the televisions in the trailers were the same, so the remote control would use. So we went into Rupert's trailer the once and we were watching the TV and we convinced him that the closer you walk to the TV, the volume gets higher. And feel free to use it, it's really good. And then if you jump a bit, it will change channel. We kept this going for about 25 minutes.
Hi, I'm a big fan. And I was wondering, what Hogwarts house do you think that your own personalities would match with?
We've actually done the test, haven't we, on Pottermore, the test, and it was. I was quite lucky. I got Gryffindor, so which was really helpful because I've got the tie already. So.
But I actually got sorted into Hufflepuff.
I've been a really big fan of yours for basically my whole life. I grew up with Harry Potter, and your characters, Fred and George, were in Gryffindor. But in your opinion, what house would they be in if they weren't in Gryffindor?
Out of the four, I think they'd probably stay in Gryffindor, to be honest. That's the whole Weasleys are in there already. Yeah, I think I learned not to argue, J.K. Rowling.
Don't take this a weird way, but growing up with Harry Potter and being a ginger, I kind of associated you guys as brothers. I was wondering, is there like a place that you guys went to like lounge whenever you weren't doing like a certain scene on set? Is there a place that you guys would like go hide off and lounge and just sit around and talk?
Just hang out. Rupert's dressing room was usually the place that we would be because he had a bigger dressing room than we did. But equally, we just had a lot of fun in there. And it came to, but I think the guys from Warner's kind of learned to just let us get on with it and don't question. For example, we put like a dartboard in the dressing room just to play darts, just chill out. But then when we were doing night shoots, and night shoots are just long and boring when you're not doing anything because it's obviously dark. You want to sleep, but you can't sleep. So we ended up getting a crossbow.
No, it wasn't even a crossbow. It was actually a kid's bow and arrow set. What came with like a sticker, and we replaced it with a dart and played that for that.
We were over 18 at the time, so it's all safe.
Safe.
So yeah. So it was good fun. So yeah.
But anyone listening, don't do that.
Just wanted to know what it was like for you guys to have to act out the death scene in part 2.
Spoiler. It was it was bizarre actually, because there was like getting into it. I was speaking to the director beforehand, and also Julie Walters as well. I asked her like, what would be the best way to get into that mindset, as it were. So that was the emotional bit, is trying to almost relive a memory of losing a relative or a loved one or something, and then then you get on set. So you're racing, so you walk straight on set, and a makeup artist comes up to you with a eucalyptus stick, blows eucalyptus in your eyes. So now you are crying, and then shoot the scene. So yeah, it's a bit bizarre one. I've seen things since online, like a photo, and it says how we embraced afterwards. Didn't happen.
For me, it was actually the easiest day of work I've ever done.
James actually fell asleep on the floor, so they called lunch, so we went to lunch and left.
Okay, yes, I was wondering, what is the weirdest experience you've ever had with a fan?
with pink hair recording it, actually, that's the question. There's one or two. On the whole, people are really cool. Weird experience with a fan. I don't know. I remember once getting on the train, and there was this girl who was on the train. She just went, "Yeah, Weasley, yeah!" And they went on. And then it turned out she was sitting next to me on the train, so she just sat there really awkward. It's probably more awkward for her than it was for me, actually. Anything? No?
Hi, so I really want to be an actress, and I was wondering, do you guys have any advice for me?
No. That's my common answer. No, just keep going. If someone says that you can't, like you're not going to have a career in it, like, what do they know? We can speak from experience because the week before we went for our first Potter audition, in the UK, when you're in third year of senior school, you select like your high school, what you're going to do. And the drama teacher said, don't take drama because you're not going to have a career in it. So yeah, 16 years later, we're here in St. Louis talking to all you people. I'm pretty sure he's still at that school. Just because one person thinks that you're not right for a certain part, you know, as long as you work hard at your skill as an actor, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a twin brother as well, and we get really annoyed when people ask us dumb questions like, who's the evil twin, or something like that. I was wondering, how many questions like that you guys just get so sick of answering?
We did a TV show in Australia. It was like a Today Show of Australia, and so we're sitting down. We're talking about something, and in conjunction with being there, they had this person who'd written this book about how twins can feel what each other feels and all this stuff, and we were kind of like looking at each other like, what? And this girl apparently had spent like 10 years research and all this stuff, and we were like, no. And it's like, well, how do you know? I was like, well, Phil, you hit him and I'll tell you if I did.
And then the old response, I tell you what, can you think what I'm thinking? He could, but no, it's yeah, stuff like that, you know. And I always remember at Christmas time as well, you'd get a present or a card, and it'd be the exact same card. It'd be a race for opening first, so whatever. Stuff like that, yeah. The trials of identical twins.
Hi, so I actually think of you guys as like my long-lost brothers.
There's a theme?
Siblings.
But
Siblings, sorry.
Okay.
But if you had the resurrection stone and Fred was alive, who would you save?
Well, George is all right. He stayed out of the way.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I can't answer that one. Third guy on the left. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Thank you.
I'm sure a lot of people have asked you this question. What was your most favorite moment in the series?
Good question, mate. Favourite moment in the whole series? There was a lot of cool ones. Like moments we. And it was, it would be, probably my favourite would be the Yule Ball scene in the Goblet of Fire, because before that we spent about 3 to 4 weeks learning to proper dance, and they put us in with these lovely girls who were trained dancers. They were teaching us the moves and everything. And unfortunately was in the scene. You'll see it in the film for all of like half a term. But and then there was a whole week, and it was the week before Christmas, and there was a rock concert that went on when we were there. It was awesome. Yeah, really good.
And there was that. I can remember we actually played cricket on Privet Drive. Just hanging out off at lunchtime, so we actually set up the stumps on Privet Drive itself, and you could just see like the guys, like the people who work at the studio, walking past, thinking, "Please don't hit it through one of the windows."
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Hi, I'm Christian Vitale. I was just wondering if, what were your expressions when you realized you were chosen for the role of Fred Jordan?
It's kind of like, I don't know, like Mario when he punches a toaster or something like that. It was, yeah, really happy. Obviously, really happy. And we, it was bizarre, like going through the audition process, it being so young and green to it. You kind of just think, yeah, we've got this. The audition process, and then we got to like the last but one audition, and there were there's other sets of twins there. And they were the most obnoxious pair I've ever met in my life. And that was the time I thought, if we don't get this, I'm going to go mad. So, and when we did, it all went great. But actually, when we first went for the audition, so the first audition was an open call. So they were auditioning for every part in the films. So there was like 6,000 people or whatever there, and many sets of twins. And we realised that we were the only sets of twins who weren't wearing the same clothes. Not a good idea if you're going for identical twins. So we ran across the store, and we had about a 2-hour wait. It was everyone. We had to draw a raffle ticket when you get there. When your number's called, it's when you go to meet the casting director. So we went across the street, bought the same shirt, and we kind of wore that to every audition. So maybe they thought, oh, they need the money. But yes, yeah, so from that, and we got the call to go to back and forth, and then met the director, and yeah, they said, do you want to play Fred and George? Well, actually, no, they called up and Mum answered, didn't they? They said, is that Mrs. Weasley there? I was like, oh yeah, yes.
Did you guys ever go out and pretend to be the other twin?
James does it all the time on a check, isn't it?
Yeah, if I'm at a restaurant, they say who's paying, I'll be like, Oliver, and then borrow his card.
Yeah, no, not really. No, we probably should do more. But to offset.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning.
So first of all, I just want to say I'm super jealous that you guys knew Alan Rickman. He's seriously one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He was amazing, and I haven't even worked with him. So my question is, Miss Rowling actually said that she regrets killing Fred.
You do as well, actually.
He got a good nap out of it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
But if you could kill another Weasley, who would it be?
I know, because he was a baddie. I don't know, Scabbers.
I'm going to go with him, yeah, that's a good answer. That's in my head. I can.
Hello, I am a huge fan of the Harry Potter series. I just wanted to know, what was your favorite movie to shoot of the whole series?
Wow. That's a pretty tough question to answer, because there's a lot for all of them, but maybe I'd say the fourth movie was one when, I can remember when we wrapped on that movie, I was literally, oh man, that's, like we were having so much fun shooting it. So by a hair, the fourth movie, but that's, I can't say that's amazing over all the others.
I was wondering, since the books are obviously what drives the script, and you have movies that have to take bits and pieces out of it, did you guys read the books as you were going through the process, and did the books influence how you play the character as opposed to the script, or did you blend the two?
Yeah, I think, well, we'd read the first 3 books when we went for the audition, and the Goblet of Fire book had just been released. So we're familiar with what the characters were like anyway. So yeah, we kind of just stuck to the books really. And in terms of that, it's more you can over-exaggerate a part more so, and then you can tone it down a bit. Luckily, Fred and George are quite over-exaggerated anyway, so that's quite handy. But yeah, it was interesting when you read things, you go, oh, I can't wait to film that. Then you get the script, and it's, where is the Swansea? Stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, as you say, stuff has to be cut down to fit it into the film. But
I remember in the first movie there was a bit where Harry sorted into Gryffindor, and in the book it said that Fred and George start chanting "We got Potter," and that wasn't in the script, so we just did it. So it, like Chris, the director, was like, "Yeah, that's great." And so just little things like that came on. I know that there's a bit in I think it's the end of the second movie when everyone's cheering Hagrid. And we kind of did like a Wayne's World, like, where is it? That didn't make it, yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
This question is more kind of for James. Since you're at WrestleMania, were you ready for Roman or Taker to win?
Yeah, so I went to WrestleMania last week, just so Undertaker, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong answer.
Okay. That's the first time I've ever been said that in a Q&A.
I have a slightly strange request. My friend Bradley is not able to be here, but today's her birthday, and she's your biggest fan. Could you say happy birthday?
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Riley. Happy birthday.
And your question?
That was the question.
Also, happy late birthday. We share a birthday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what inspired you to go audition for the Potter movies?
It's cool. There was two main reasons. The first one was it was Harry Potter. We're massive fans anyway. And the second one is on Thursday, which meant we couldn't go to school that day. So we bumped off school and went to the audition, which is pretty Weasley in itself.
I don't know if we bumped off. We kind of told the teacher we may not be at school that day. I don't know if the teacher even taught us, but we told a teacher. He's
a cleaner or something, I don't know.
When they told you which one would be Fred and George, do you think they actually knew and planned which one would be
I like to think so.
Well, we didn't find out until late, did we?
No, so before you film a film, you do something called a read-through. So the whole cast are in a room like this, all with their scripts, and you read through the whole movie, start to finish.
And you've got your name, a bit like this, haven't you?
Yeah, with the character you're playing. However, Oliver and I didn't have the character we were playing written on our name, and we were. So we went over to Janet, who was the head casting director, and I'm like, "Hey, Janet, so am I Fred or am I George?" And she was like, "Oh, that's a good one, good one." I'm like, "No, seriously, am I Fred or am I George?" And so she's like, "Oh, hang on." So she went away, and then we still were speaking to David Heyman, the producer, Chris Plum's the director, and J.K. Rowling. And then she came back and she's like, "Yeah, James, you're Fred, Oliver, you're George." So I like to think the conversation kind of went, "What, you didn't get the memo?" We had that huge meeting about it. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Hi, I'm Axel. I was wondering if you guys, how do you guys relate to the characters that's?
Twins?
Yeah.
They were really cool, outgoing guys, and as we said earlier, you've got the books you can read up on them like that as well, and I think they're just exaggerated versions of teenage guys who are up to a bit of mischief, and maybe they're slightly thinking ahead. Like school, they weren't that bothered with doing too well at school because they always knew they were going to go on with the Weasleys visiting Weasley stuff. So yeah, just kind of thinking to that type of it really.
Thank you.
Hello, gentlemen. I was just kind of wondering if, okay, now you can hear me. I was just kind of wondering, since you guys have been doing the Harry Potter thing for a long time, right? Well, you guys got any like future prospects coming up? And if you do, are you guys playing it together, or are you gonna split off and do your own thing?
got a few things in the fire. Like you've got Jason's doing a deal when we get back to London or to England, which he doesn't want to talk about because he's really superstitious.
Actually, I'm literally signing a contract for something when I get back in 2 weeks, but I don't want to say what it is in case I get a phone call tomorrow. Yeah, it's not happening now. But yeah, we are still keeping busy, which is good. And then it's quite good that as being twins and brothers, that's part of the resume. You've got also has a twin brother. So we do work together and individually as well.
Look forward to seeing as well what we're doing on. It's actually going to be aired on BBC Radio 2, so I suppose you guys will hear it later in the year. But there's a concert going on just down the road from the studios where we filmed it, of all the film music, and they've asked Jason and I to host the present the evening. So I'm looking forward to that. We need to read up on what songs what. Yes.
What's something that was in the books that you wish had been in the movies?
For me, it would be, there's a few things, but probably Peeves more than anything.
Yes.
Rick Mail, who played Peeves in the first film, where he was the guy who I sat next to him in the read-through we were talking about. And growing up, he was my comedy idol. There's a TV show called The Young Ones, which was probably manipulated my mind more than anything. But he starred in that, and yeah, I wish there was more stuff with Peeves in.
Me and my brother have a very anything you can do, I can do better kind of relationship. Is there anything in your personal life that you're very competitive?
Everything.
Yeah, we kind of, it's a competition all the time, pretty much with Oliver and myself. Okay, I can't tell one story. But it's, we do like to, who could be better than someone else, whether it be golf, FIFA on the PlayStation. We like to compete against each other.
So I know that there's not a lot of ginger identical twins in the world, but how many were there at the audition for Fred and George?
More than us. That's a funny thing actually. There was quite a few, as you say, identical twins or fair-haired twins and everything like that. So the question that really came up, would we dye our hair when we were doing it? I honestly couldn't tell you how many people were doing it.
Okay, and can you say hi to my friend Nick, because he's really jealous?
No more
requests,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
If you could play another character in the Harry Potter universe, who would it be and why?
George. Pretty sure the costume would fit. Well, be a bit hacky, I think. I think, or Dobby. I was going to say creature. Yeah, I could see you as a creature. He'd be like me first thing in the morning, just grumbling. Yeah, I'd like creature. Yeah. I don't know if I'd fit in the costume. Maybe.
Hey guys, were there any specific role models for you guys at a young age, or any cast members that you looked up to more than others?
I would say look up to more than others. I mean, obviously having Julie Walters as your mum was always fun because she's exactly how you'd imagine it to be, really welcoming and very warm. But all the adult guys were very encouraging for you to, if you've got any questions, ask them or anything. One being actually Michael Gambon, when he was actually filming in the Sixth movie, they were filming like the big scene with him. I'm not going to spoil it, but anyway. So he's shooting that, and then I was working the same day, and we were just talking off set. He was saying, "What are you up to at the weekend?" And I said, "Well, I've got this script I'm learning for." Because Oliver and I were reading Peter and the Wolf with the Halley Orchestra in Manchester, and I've never read with an orchestra before, but I know you have to read in time with the beat and everything. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And so you've got Michael in full-on Dumbledore gear. Going, well, I've done that. I'll talk you through it. so I'm literally having a lesson with Michael Gambon dressed as Dumbledore. And just things like that, like how encouraging they were, and also I say just how to act, or how to present yourself off screen as well, was a real learning for us.
Thank you, guys.
Do you guys still watch the movies?
Yeah, it's great. It seems to be on at least twice a year on the TV back home, and there will be every now and then I'll catch myself. Oh, why is it? Because it is awesome to see yourself on the TV.
And can you say hi to my class? Because I have some big
Sorry, no request. I'm sorry.
Hi, are there any characters that exist outside of the Harry Potter world that you really want to do, like any parts that you really love?
Skeeter and Doug. Skeeter and Doug. How did you know that? I'm intrigued.
It's on the internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to stuff. So preferably something fun and funny. With playing characters like Willie and George, they're quite happy-go-lucky kind of guys, and I think they're always the more fun kind of guy to play.
Not off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Hello. Which of the other actors was your favorite to work with?
I wouldn't say favourite to work with, because that means that some people can enjoy others. But yeah, we just had a fun time with a lot of like the guys who we filmed a lot with, so like Rupert especially, because we're such good pals as well. That was always, the days always went really quickly, you know, when you film with those guys, so yeah.
Thank you.
Who's the better cricket player?
Me. And I've got the stats to prove it as well, which is good.
So I know you've probably been asked this a bunch, but while you were on set, did anybody ever, just keep confusing which of you were which?
Yeah, more than not, actually. Especially in the earlier films, because they were, like I said, the first two movies, because so the directors had their own vision on what they want the characters to be a bit like, or costumes and stuff. And Chris Columbus always wanted us to look identical. So even to the fact where I've got a mole on my nose and that would be covered up, and like little tiny details like that. So certainly the first two movies, that was where we did get a lot more confused.
Hello. Funnily enough, I have a similar question. I was wondering if your family ever confused you. So.
No, our family's pretty good. Thank God.
Thank you.
Before you guys found out how the story was going to end, how did you want the story to end for Fred and George?
That they would be the saviors of the wizarding world. I think it was, I don't know, I always assumed that they'd be, it's going to be massive profiteers in Diagon Alley, and I don't know, start a multinational company. I don't think that at all. I think just like to be where they influence the story maybe in their pranks and stuff like that. And yeah, because at least their characters kept to what they were. They didn't just deviate to something else. Yeah, it was good.
So I like asking of actors, in a room full of geeks, what do you guys geek out about?
I'm a big space nerd, actually. So I was in Florida last week, so I went to Kennedy Space Center and geeked out there for quite a while. That was pretty fun. Even bought space food.
Favorite kind?
They had like strawberries, which you can eat in, but I didn't go to one. There was a guy who was actually eating the same thing, but he was kind of doing that. I didn't do that just yet, but I just thought, that's quite fun.
You're going to save it for the aeroplane or not?
Yeah, I'm going to save that for the way home. What do you geek out?
I don't know, really. I'm a big sports nerd. So, yeah, normally if I meet someone, I watch playing sports, maybe.
Any particular sports is your favorite?
All sorts. It's wide.
I was wondering if you liked improv, if you ever seen like Second City perform or anything like that.
We were actually in Chicago last year, and we went to an improv show, and they got us on stage. for a bit. I did really well, but I realised my humour was too dark for that room. Seemed like, whoa, where'd that come from? But no, it is fun actually doing stuff like that. It's like this, you don't know what's going to happen, so you can have fun with it and hope that people get what you're doing.
I actually did a stage show a couple of years ago, and it was a comedy show, luckily, but at the end, like the big reveal of the show, as it were, there was myself and another guy on stage, and there was 2 monologues which he had to say, one on page 40 and one on page 50, for example, and they both started with the same 3 words. Over the first monologue, he actually read the second one, so he'd cut like 10 pages of dialogue out of it. And as he's saying, he's already started, so he can't stop, but he's looking at me, as if like, help me. You kind of like, when people say speak with your eyes, like that's exactly what we were doing, and then fortunately the audience had no idea whatsoever, and again you could just figure it out on the spot, and it was actually one of the funnest nights we did, and whilst he was doing that, a phone went off in the audience, and it was just like turning on him, and then you could see the director pulling his hair out. Like, it actually, like, just that kind of improv was a lot of fun.
So we only have time for like 2 more questions. Sorry.
Hi, this is a question from our sister in Indiana right now. She said if you guys have seen Fantastic Beasts and if you liked it, or if you knew anything about the movies that were coming out.
Yeah, we saw Fantastic Beasts. It was really, I thought it was like everyone is really interested to see what it was like over this side of the pond years ago. Immigration seemed a lot more nicer then than it is now. Yeah, it was.
I don't suppose they needed to declare if they'd been on a farm, did they, when they were going over the beast? They're so cool.
Thank you.
All right, last question.
Okay, I'm going to ask you what your musical influences currently are or have been growing up.
Growing up, mainly rock music really. That was what always used to get played in the house growing up. So yeah, rock music more than anything. Yeah, definitely.
Good, because I'm a big Duffleford fan and Duran Duran. So
Right.
on your side of the pond.
Yeah, they're actually from our city as well, both of them.
Oh, that's very cool.
So, are you guys headed back to your booth, signing some more stuff later today?
I think so.
All right, guys.
Photos. Whenever I tell my friends back home that we've been speaking to a room full of people, they look like we've done that. If that's cool with everyone else, that'd be with me. Thanks for everyone being so cool to us in St. Louis. We've never been here before, but we'll definitely love to come back some other time as well. Thank you very much, guys.